Hey guys, Savage Warrior here, bringing you some more boom beats from the beaches of Maui. I've been a little bit busy, so I haven't been posting any videos, but I'm up here today in the Waiumuku Falls of Maui, sharing a little bit of aloha with you. Also, I want to give a shout out to Tim for sending me this t-shirt. A little bit gray, a little bit snug, but it's alright. Hey guys, Savage Warrior here, maybe showing you the possible origins of this waterfall behind our base. Today I'll be showing you a very advanced attack strategy that shows up at deep cut and massive attack. You know, when we first came up to this base, we really struggled, and some of our guys found on YouTube a Chinese method that literally a Chinese method that we found on YouTube on how to take out this base. It's still in question whether or not this is the best strategy, but it has been working for us. It just takes quite a few attacks in preparation because you need a few guys to actually make a hole for the Zookas right back here where I'm showing you with those X's, and it's going to take maybe 2 or even 3 good Bardies or barrage and artillery shots to be able to clear that out before we're going to be able to do it. So what makes this base so difficult is the rocket launchers and the shock launchers are spaced out in such a way it's very difficult to be able to get them in only 4 or 5 shocks and be able to get all the way back out there, smoking your way all the way back to that back corner with enough gunboat energy. Is just crazy on how much gunboat energy you would actually have to have in order to get back there. So anyway, our third attempt to try to clear that out for the Zookas, our boy OG is going to take some of his men and going to clean up the beach a little bit to add a little extra fire. And finally, we're going to get to our first attempt at that core. We're going to be landing some Zookas right there in the corner right there, and they're going to flare and try to run up this line ideally. Unfortunately, what makes this base really hard, and it was really smart by the designers, is that they offset the power core and the snipers just in such a way that they're going to move a little bit on you. So what our guy right here does is he's going to go ahead and flare right over there, and he's going to anticipate the movement, is going to veer off just a little bit to the left. He's going to land a Scorcher right behind him, and he's going to try to bring that Scorcher up so that he can time the Scorcher to lead and get ahead of the Zookas. And so that once they get up there, he's going to shock the Scorcher so that the Zookas can get past the Scorcher and then be able to take out the core. Now, I mean, what I just explained is ridiculously hard, right? And just explaining it and doing it, I'm telling you, doing it is a lot harder than trying to explain it. So what happens here on his attack, the Scorcher actually is a little bit too south or too far down, and what happens is the rocket launchers are going to lock on to some of their guys. So moving next to our boy Carl, the #1 seeded out of Norway, right ahead from my understanding, ahead of Boot Ramp. He's right behind him, giving him a little bit of stress, but we had some laughs about that today. But anyway, Carl, he's going to do the same thing, and I'll get an opportunity to explain better how this attack works. So you notice he lands, and then he has his Scorcher, just like Hamburger Helper behind us. And the guys are going to offset and move off a little bit to the left. One thing that I didn't mention is Carl is flaring all the way back. I think that's the easiest way, but right in midstream, you're going to have to flare again because that 30-second flare is going to run out. Now, his timing is very good on this, and so his Scorcher is there in such a way that you need to shock it right now. That is an excellent position, and now the Zookas are going to drive past him. What I like to do right now is I like to shock that thing a second time. Unfortunately, he gets it. Unfortunately, the Zookas are too far down, and the shock launchers lock on to half the Zookas, so he's not going to be able to do as much damage as he normally would be. But Carl has like 4 troop damage statues, so like even though he has half the troops, it still does a huge amount of damage. Now, Strong Knight is also going to make an attempt here, and I'm going to show you this. I normally wouldn't show this attack,
because, you know, my guys are my boys and all, but like this is a really good way for all of us to learn how difficult this really is. So he's going to do the same thing as Carl. He's going to flare right up to that corner, and what really matters and sets the precedence of the entire attack, in my opinion, is where you flare. And it has to be so precise, because if you are just a little off to the left or the right is going to dictate the direction or what structures that your troops are going to actually have to walk through. Anyway, he flares really good, but what happens is, thinking about all the things that you gotta do, he forgets to flare again, and his guys just kind of like rumble and rock and roll everywhere and get splattered all over the map. And so he tries to recover right here, but it's just, if you don't do it perfectly, it's just gonna end bad. AB Romeo, I give props to him, man. He is like one of the best players I've ever played with. It's been an honor to be with this guy. But anyway, he throws his smokes up here. We're going to do a little bit faster. What I'm going to show you in the end, the timing is so critical, and I learned this attack actually by watching him. So what you do right here is, once you flare for the second time, now let's count the smokes. This is really critical. So there's 1, 2, pause, 3, 4. Now, you have to do that in such a way, because as soon as the smoke ends, all the rocket launchers and shock launchers are going to direct itself to the Scorchers rather than the Zookas. That's why that timing is really hard. The only thing that he doesn't do right there, which isn't so bad because it does a lot of damage to the core, is that Scorcher is a little bit high up, which protects the Zookas pretty good, but they're still going to get a little bit of splash damage from there. So anyway, that was one of the best attacks, actually. So we're going to finish it off. I got lucky the timing. I was right at the end. Otherwise, I would have looked exactly like the same guys. But fortunately, I got to learn from watching their attack. I just throw the flare right down there, group them up, and go ahead and flare all the way up to the top, then smoke, and get my way, unleash my Scorcher right behind my Zookas, and I'm going to get right up to those snipers, knowing that they're going to veer a little bit off to the left right here. I'm going to throw a couple smokes, and can't forget about that second flare, because my first flare is going to expire. So right about now, I'm going to flare again right above where I did before, so that way the Zookas are going to go up there, and also gives enough lead time for my Scorcher to be able to get shocked right about now is where I'm going to throw it. So after I shock it, it's going to stick right above that machine gun, and right about now I'm going to throw another shock. And I'm going to get a couple of my Zookas, but that's okay. But what's happening is now everything is going to unload on that Scorcher right there, far enough on top so that the shock launchers don't get them, and should be able to take out the core just like that. Hey guys, I wanted to take a second to really thank all of you guys who stayed by my side for the last several weeks of no video. I've been going through some personal things, and I had to take care of that in order to be able to continue on with my hobbies and my passion, which is this game. But also on top of that, my hard drive got wiped. My hard drive literally got wiped, and all of the videos that I had put together over the last couple months were just gone. I had to start over with all the thumbnails, with all of the channel art and all the clippings that I had to make the thumbnails, as well as some of the intros and things that I had been working on. But anyway, the videos are going to start coming on now that I'm getting more clear with my personal circumstance. I should be able to have more time to do more videos. So I got a couple great ideas, and again, I really have to thank some of the members of my TF, as well as past members that were in other TFs that I've played with. You guys really made me and inspired me to continue on with these videos. Anyway, there's going to be more coming, and until then, thank you so much for subscribing. Keep on watching, keep on booming, and until then, aloha, and here's a little goodbye from my son.